We remained dead for thousands of years, and it figured now's a good time to come back to life.
Ah, you're back. From the sound of your... Many who undertake the far-reaching journey to the Xianzhou are weighed down by a heavy heart and exhaustion. But let's get down to business. I analyzed the prescription you procured, the draft of Draconic Surge. Now that I have a preliminary conclusion, it needs to be delivered to the seat of Divine Foresight. The conclusion... Put simply, I don't believe that the draft of Draconic Surge holds the cure to the Mara. I've compiled the details into a written analysis. If you're interested, feel free to take a look. This is a copy of pharmacological studies on the draft of Draconic Surge. If the Chief Counselor wants to see it urgently, I'll have to ask you to deliver it for me.
You're back. Anything you wanted to share? Wow. Even... Dань Шу. Wait, why would the Alchemy Commission's chief alchemist be away from her post? I've heard that the chief alchemist is visually impaired. She rarely leaves the Alchemy Commission delve. She has a vast knowledge and expertise. No wonder she was able to analyze the pharmacology so quickly. Let me see her report. No cure? Where did these villains get their hands on such a complex prescription? Still, this is a clue we can follow. Thank you. Please accept these gifts for your efforts. Please, take them. You've done so much for the Lофу, for the Сяньчжоу. This is the least I could do.
I came up from Starskiff Haven just to see the Emperor.
Thank you for coming on such short notice. My stay in Exalting Sanctum was supposed to be focused on treating people and delivering medicine. But the Seat of Divine Foresight tasked me with analyzing the prescription. I've been severely delayed. I've already concocted some of the medicine in question, but there can't be any further delays. Could you assist me in ensuring it arrives on time? Thank you. The patient in question is a little girl. If she's gotten into any trouble, be sure to let me know when you get back. This is the medicine. Her house is near the Court of Tranquility. It shouldn't be hard to find her.
Is this the one Dань Šu sent me to find?
Aw, little Miss Lady can't see ahead, can't see right, can't see left. Heads to the east, ends up west. She's stuck!
Hey, what you looking at, Outworlder? Mind your own business!
Who do you think you are? Keep your nose out of this. I beat people up all the time.
Yeah, get lost! Stop!
Boss!
Stop yelling and help me up already!
They used some kind of hidden power! I saw it! You're cheating!
That's right! If you hadn't cheated, I would have knocked your lights out!
You sure about that, boss? They didn't even flinch.
Ugh! Shut up! Boss, let's get out of here! We shouldn't fight anyone that doesn't respect martial arts.
I'll let you off the hook this time. Next time we fight fair and square!
Yeah!
I'm okay It's my fault. I shouldn't have wandered off on my own. Then I wouldn't have run into those guys. And they always laugh at me for being blind. And they like to trip me up and steal my things. Thank goodness you were here. Otherwise, they wouldn't have let me off so easily. Oh, Don Shu asked you to come? Things are bad on the Lawfu recently. Don Shu must be very busy. Thank you, miss. Remember to thank her for me.
Why does she wander about? Well, I've...
How was she? Did you deliver them? She reminds me of myself when I was a child. I also had to find my way in the dark, face obstacles I couldn't predict. As if I was ever injured by bullies or after a fall, I'd run crying to the healers at the Alchemy Commission and ask them to heal me. I suppose that's why I followed in their footsteps, to pay a little kindness forward. Thank you for looking after the child. Could I ask you for another favor, friend? Yes, I worry about her wandering around on her own. And I want her parents passed away in the denizens of Abundance Wars. The relatives who took her in aren't close to her. And whenever I treat her, a healer's medicine might remedy one's physical health. But sometimes, the loneliness and hurt inside one's heart needs companionship and care to heal. She told me that whenever she's feeling troubled, she finds a quiet corner in the Artisanship Commission and just sits there. Her parents used to be artisans in the commission, so I think she has some nostalgic connection to the place. In all likelihood, that's where she'll be. There's danger around every corner these days, especially for a sightless child. Do you really think that is the case? You don't understand, I do not ask for you to pick a side. I just wish for you to leave the Lawfu, to leave this all behind. This isn't your fight, and I do not wish to make an enemy of you. Since neither of us is eager to engage in combat, let us respectfully part ways. I have been thinking. The devilish archer author is not a benevolent god, nor is merciful Medicus a malevolent one. Your choice to align with Jing Yuan was simply due to meeting him first. Most unfortunate. Had you known me first, perhaps we could have been good friends.
Master, we should leave, now.
I sincerely wish that this will be our last meeting. Farewell, Nameless.
I'd better report my findings to Cingzhu at the Seat of Divine Foresight.
How did it go? Did you manage to locate Don Shu? So you weren't able to apprehend her. I see. These people have been in hiding for so long. They must have a more nefarious plan. I've got to apprehend them quickly. Once again, Thank you for all your help. With your Jingyuan tells me you'll be joining the forces led by the Alchemy Commission and Master Diviner. I won't take up any more of your time. If you run into Dань Шу again, contact the nearest Cloud Knights. Take this as a token of my appreciation. You deserve it.
Whoa. Looks like the battle here was intense.
The Master Diviner must have launched the campaign while we were delayed in the Artisanship Commission.
Time is of the essence. The most important task for the Xianzhou Lawfu is suppressing the Stellaron. General Jingyuan tasked the Master Diviner with commanding the Cloud Knights. He would have known she'd act on the results of her divination.
Thank goodness the General didn't make us go with the Knights. Fighting is totally different from adventuring. All these people, it's tough to bear.
I'm afraid this is nothing, Benefactor. Centuries ago, an emanator of abundance besieged the Lawfu with the aim of taking the Ambrosial Arbor. They destroyed half our delves and killed most of the Cloud Knights. For long-life species, such events are more like yesterday's memories than ancient history. This awful spectacle is child's play in comparison.
Hey, is that supposed to make us feel better?
It's hard to tell if the Master Diviner won or lost here.
A draw? This isn't a tournament, you know. I can't see many Cloud Knights. The Xianzhou must have fought well.
Not necessarily. There'd usually be a base with supporting forces set up after a successful engagement, but we don't see any of that. Let's look around and see if we can find some clues.
Be careful. Those monsters are pretty tough. Here! There are still survivors here.
You're not the Knights. What is your purpose here? It's dangerous.
We're reinforcements sent by the General. Where's everyone else?
Resorting to short-lived species as reinforcements. Jingyuan is truly running out of options.
Run! She's a disciple of Sanctus Medicus!
Silence. If my healing worked, you'll become... And then it's not just me they'll be...
I'm fine.
What a headache. Who's next?
I won't go easy on you.
Hold on. We'll find someone...
Don't waste your time. They've... Go. The Master...
Let's go.
Stop moving around. Come on, take this.
Thank goodness you're here. The garrison...
Who goes there? Show yourselves! Wait, it's you. Quickly, in here! It's dangerous outside.
You recognize us?
Are you not the General's guests? The Master Diviner prophesied you. Yes, the Master Diviner ordered us to remain stationed here and went to scout ahead. They're saying the disciples of... It's good that you're here. The Master Diviner said the Knights weren't to move out until you arrived. Please wait in the camp. We'll decide on our next steps once the Master Diviner returns.
That the Cloud Knights received orders not to advance is a bad sign. The disciples of Sanctus Medicus. I've heard the name before. If memory serves, they're an underground sect of the Abundance that's said to have lain dormant within the Xianzhou, plotting to overthrow the Alliance. The Stellaron has certainly caused Abundance-like abnormalities. Is that what motivated the disciples to come out of the shadows? No. The Knight's main force remains intact. Something must have happened. Something we're not aware of. The Master Diviner isn't here. Let's head into camp and see what we can learn from the troops here.
Good idea. Why don't you take a look around, benefactors? My feet need a rest.
Forgive me for being brief. Warfare is... We took over this place a few hours ago under the Master Diviner's command. It was only after everything was going as planned. The sorcerers of the disciples and the fantastic creatures they commanded were no match for us. And, after a while, our comrades suddenly started to slaughter one another. Curse it. The greatest fear of the Xianzhou people is succumbing to our Mara-struck form around others. To do so means that we have given up on being human, lost the abomination sleeping in our immortal blood, and violated the Rainbow's admonishments. What the disciples of Sanctus Medicus did are despicable acts that every Alliance resident detests. I swear to the Arbiter that I will avenge my comrades.
I have kept you waiting, but the deceit of the disciples is laid bare to me now. I was merely being courteous. According to my divination, you've hardly been here long.
The conflict is difficult, Master Diviner, but you have led your forces from the front lines and beyond in pursuit of the enemy. Admirable work.
Hardly. A diviner must acquire first-hand knowledge in order to calculate the future. Collecting intelligence in this way assists me in achieving the right answer. Wait, what's all this about a difficult conflict? The disciples of Sanctus Medicus have been scheming for a long time, but our army is in no way inferior. How can things be so difficult? Sharp as always.
I knew we'd spent too long around the Master Diviner. Now we're predicting the future. Let me guess. What are we up to this time? Could it be heading to the front lines? Leading the Cloud Knight charge? Well, try this on for size. Nope! I can't stand any more of this fighting. So there.
Who said you'd be heading to the battlefield?
We're not?
Jingyuan's orders. He said that the value of unexpected guests lies in the unexpected. The Cloud Knight's assault was to demonstrate our power to the enemy head-on. Now, please, come with me. After receiving the Ambrosial Arbor, the Alchemy Commission was once the Lofu's most vital commission. After all, it was they who changed the Xianzhou natives into long-life species. But in the end, the alchemists grew discontented and began to obsess over the manipulation of life. Research into the Arbor poisoned their minds. The more they pursued it, Morning bells chime in a dream. Evening mist gathers around me. Do you see that?
What huge elixir crucibles. There's still smoke coming out of them.
This is where the alchemists practiced the way of immortality in ancient times. They erected elixir crucibles here to absorb the power of the arbor, turning fantasy into reality. Since the smoke from the crucibles never ceases, this place was named Eve Mist Mansion. An elegant name, but as far as the art of war is concerned, it's a death trap. As long as the crucibles are lit and the smoke continues to linger, we cannot get any closer.
This is why the Cloud Knights lost control and became Mara-struck?
Indeed. The disciples of Sanctus Medicus infuse the smoke that permeates this delve with medicinal pellets that elicit Mara. Unless the Cloud Knights were able to march with their breath held, they would be doomed to fall into disarray. Moreover, no one could know whether their comrade was about to be stricken with Mara. Is there anything better than fear for destroying the morale of an army?
The Cloud Knights' first assault was just a cover. You're using the main army to attract the enemy's attention, while we douse the elixir crucibles and stop the smoke.
The disciples of Sanctus Medicus renounced their century of secrecy and chose to reveal themselves, meaning they feel confident of victory. But no matter how well prepared they may be, their focus has always been the Cloud Knights. They are completely unaware of your existence and capacity, and in short, cannot be prepared against you. Indeed, this demonic vapor is a weapon targeted against the Cloud Knights. The ambrosial arbor is taboo for the Lофу, and the Сяньчжоу alliance has always been fiercely independent. The disciples of Sanctus Medicus could never have guessed that the general would seek outside help. They won't be prepared against short-life species.
Is this what General Jing Yuan meant by unexpected guests?
I wouldn't hazard a guess. All I can say is that the predictions of the Stellaron hunters were more accurate than mine. The future that Kafka seeks is becoming reality, one step at a time. I do not wish to be their puppet either. In any case, we do not walk alone and unhindered on our paths. Our choices define us and influence others. The duty of the Master Diviner is to bring luck and avoid misfortune. I don't want my choice to plunge the Lофу into a terrible future. To return to the matter at hand, only you can douse the elixir crucibles without being harmed by them. What say you?
Fine. I didn't hear a please, but seeing as we do kinda have superpowers around here, Mr. Yang, what do you think?
I will come at once when the smoke dissipates. You won't be left to fend for yourselves.
Was that the wind?
So, you succeeded in dowsing the elixir cauldrons. Unimportant. The inevitable is already upon us.
Dань Шу. It's you.
I have met you before in my capacity as Chief Alchemist, Master Diviner. You don't seem surprised.
Indeed. The General and I knew that the disciples of Sanctus Medicus must be hiding in the Alchemy Commission. However, without evidence, we couldn't bring charges before the commissions. We had to wait for you to show yourselves. And now, your charges are many. drawing Stellaron spirits into the Cínzhou, resurrecting the Ambrosial Arbor, striking down our people with Mara. The Ten Lords Commission will address these transgressions during your reckoning.
Crimes? If I am guilty, then all of our Cínzhou ancestors are also guilty. They were the ones who accepted the blessings of the abundance and turned their descendants into long-life species. The disciples of Sanctus Medicus are only walking on the road our ancestors once took. How is it a crime to seek ascendance? In days of old, the roots of the Ambrosial Arbor enveloped the Cínzhou Lofú like a living creature. We controlled the stellar seas, and none could stand in our way. Everyone could become a celestial and shift form at will. Divine miracles descended onto all 9 Cínzhou ships. What a glorious time that was. How far the Cínzhou has fallen. We consent to be commanded by the devilish archer. Suffer continuously at the hands of the denizens of abundance. And the Ten Lords Commission even forces us to give up our immortality. How pitiful. I do not blame you for your ignorance. We were not born in the era when the Ambrosial Arbor first descended, nor did we witness its miracles. But now, we now have an opportunity to restore the ancient laws.
Forgive me for thinking you might have harbored some profound enlightenment. Yours is the same old talk of those who seek power and give up on their humanity. Our Cínzhou ancestors fought side by side with the Arbiter, laid waste to the Arbor, and established the Ten Lords Commission to lay down the lines between life and death. In doing so, we enshrined our future as human beings. Celestials? There are no Celestials on the Cínzhou. The divine miracles of the abundance, the manipulation of life and death. Your deeds are nothing but evil.
I have nothing to say to you, Master Diviner. You have already made your decision. You have discarded power. A most foolish choice. Fools are made to be broken. Merciful Medicus, hear my call.
Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past!
Why? She said... The Ambrosial Arbor's descent will bring us undying bodies. The one who gave us the Stellaron said that... Pantilia, the disciples of Sanctus Medicus have fulfilled our promise. You, Lord Ravager, must do the same. Now, quickly.
Little pawn, must you force me to intervene directly? I'm loath to flout my philosophy of destruction. Never mind. It would seem the time has come for other means of dismantling the Cínzhou from within. What a shame. It would have been nice to observe for a little longer. You received the gift of abundance.
Surely you can withstand the blessing of destruction. Benefactors, allow me to reintroduce myself.
I won't go easy on you.
You don't look, listen, feel, kick!
Let's make it quick.
What a headache. Wait, hold on a second. Are you really saying that Miss Ting-Yun was a member of the Antimatter Legion all along? And what was that fire that came out of her? And her body? Where did it go? Mr. Yang, you're smart. What happened just now?
The flame we witnessed claimed to be Lord Ravager Fantilia, a name I've heard other nameless speak of in the past. She's one of 7 Lord Ravagers who serve Nanook, and finds pleasure in witnessing the self-destruction of mortals. She's led countless souls down a dark and hopeless path.
Meaning that Ting-Yun had long since fallen under the Lord Ravager's influence?
I don't believe so. Fantilia revels in watching a corrupted mind eating away its host from inside out, until the obliteration of both is achieved. But there was no indication that Ting-Yun had been misguided or manipulated. It's possible that the Ting-Yun we knew wasn't her true self, but an image Fantilia devised to serve her own purposes.
You're saying that the real Ting-Yun is still...
I'm sorry, March. I can't say with any certainty where the real Ting-Yun may be, or at what point she was replaced by the imposter. Without knowing where the body vanished to, it'll be tough to get an answer. At this point, it's all just conjecture and hope. But if that body belonged to the real Ting-Yun, it does raise the question of why Fantilia would go to such lengths to destroy any evidence of her. Wouldn't it be more in line with her destructive nature to leave Ting-Yun's remains behind as a display of power? I believe this to be Fantilia's goal: to sow seeds of doubt among us and ensnare us in a malevolent trap.
It's clear that the sudden resurgence of the disciples of Sanctus Medicus is all connected to the Lord Ravager. Pretending to be a Xianzhou citizen? Planting a Stellaron in the Lawfu? All part of her plan to bring about our self-destruction. Fantilia is aiming for the Ambrosial Arbor. If she succeeds, the Lawfu will be deprived of its roots, making its destruction all too easy. We must stop her. We need to take a star skiff to Scale Gorge Waterscape. The Ambrosial Arbor can be sealed from that delve. Let's make haste.